you. He's telling Wike this. Former PDP chairman said that.
Oh, wow. Peter Obi's visit to beg Akpabio hurt Dele Farotimi's case. This is according to lawyer. Why you go beg? We send you. Okay, all right. And then Senate unanimously adopts Senator Dixon Siriake's position to establish modern ranches that are commercially viable across the country. Because these are the hot topics that we have. Let's take a quick breather. When we return, we'll begin to dissect these and other issues after the break. So this is 90.3 Voice of the People FM. We'll be right back.
From the views on the streets,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city. The loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and pressure for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
All right, Lagos, Nigeria, welcome back. It's still 90.3 Voice of the People FM. But let's just quickly get started because this is about election. This is about the budget and the 2025 budget and those whom we have elected into positions of power, both in the executive and legislative arm. We'll talk about it, and I'll let you know I had to give this, little speech because of the guest that we have. So let's move on. As Senate President Godswill Akpabio today says, the Nigerian government will extend the life of the 2024 budget till June 2025. Now, Akpabio made the announcement today, Wednesday, at the joint session of the National Assembly. He stated that the process to extend the budget is ongoing to allow the full implementation of the capital components of the budget. Quoting him, he says, given the great achievements, we have deemed it necessary to extend the life of the 2024 budget to June 30, 2025. He did say, and he said the enabling law for this extension has already been put in place by this patriotic assembly. He called the assembly patriotic. All right, but let's get started with the little drama that played out in the National Assembly today, whilst the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was presenting the 2025 budget.
Before that drama, should we talk about the 33% of proposed 2025 budget?
Absolutely. Out of the 49.7
billion of President Bola Tinubu has announced plans to spend 15.81 trillion naira on debt servicing in the 2025 fiscal year. With a total expenditure package of 47.90 trillion naira, it will mean that the government plans to spend 33.1% of its expenditure on debt servicing in the 2025 fiscal year. And this plan comes despite worries on the impact of debt servicing on the country's development and the whole economic situations of the country.
All right, great. So let's take a listen to what played out on the floor of the National Assembly today as the present the 2025 budget before the joint assembly. Take a listen.
A man of focus, a man who loves the National Assembly, the one that will support you to support your constituents, will now present the 2025 budget. mandate we shall stand. On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate we shall stand. On your Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, so the elated president didn't just stop in thanking them. He went straight ahead to, begin the process of the presentation of the budget. And then this happened. Take a listen.
In fulfillment of one of my constitutional duties, and with unyielding commitment to rebuilding Nigeria towards ensuring that we remain steadfast on the journey to a prosperous future, I hereby present the 2025 budget to the joint section of the 11th National Assembly. 10th? I wrote 11. Which means you are all re-elected.
That was it, ladies and gentlemen, before the floor of the joint assembly this evening. Well, let's get started with the conversation. As joining me in the studio is Mr. Kunle Lawal. He's a distinguished Nigerian political leader, celebrated for his decision to democratic governance, electoral integrity, and enhancing political literacy. With his extensive experience and commitment, Kunle has significantly shaped Nigeria's political landscape, inspiring a more informed and active citizenry. He is the Executive Director of the Electoral College in Nigeria. Mr. Kunle, thank you so much for joining me. Good evening and welcome. All right, good evening and welcome. Would you say that again?
Good evening.
Good evening, it's a pleasure to be here. I hope my mic is okay because I can barely hear you. Can you help me say that good evening again?
Okay, good evening.
Thank you so much. And then, of course, I still have my Monday, Thursday tonic in the house. Prince Francis Chilaka is also here. Prince Francis, thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome.
Thank you. So, Mr. Kunle, go ahead. I mean, we cannot speak to the state of the nation. By the way, thank you for joining us. We cannot speak to the state of the nation without mentioning the latest, issue before the floor of the Senate that Nigerians are talking about. And should it really be an issue? Would you like to chime in on that?
Issue. Okay, so of all the things you're talking about, you're talking about, if I'm right, if I follow what you're saying, you're talking about the fact the president said that was re-elected. I feel that came out of his, if you ask me, the joke, because he actually called them in the assembly when they actually 10%. I don't know who made that mistake. Somebody on the staff should get fired for that. But I take that as a joke. I don't think he actually rigged the elections for them. I think he just covered up.
Oh, you just mentioned that and I didn't.
So what was the point of clapping? What was the point of all of them clapping for him when he was obviously
Before we get to another issue.
I'd like to point out something. When you lived in the capital, you get to understand the workings of the capital, just like in Washington, Accra, Abuja, and etc. It's not the way, I'm sorry to say, lack of a better word, a Russian seats. And these jokes happen. They don't naturally mean we are going to be.
Oh wow! Interestingly, that's what. Could you also classify it as a joke for a sitting president to be eulogized and sung to by the legislative arm of government that should be checkmating
The
her?
president already made an error of calling the 10th Assembly the 11th.
Oh, so that's why they sang for him.
No, are you talking about this?
I was wondering because he didn't
Okay,
mention
you know
that,
what?
so I asked.
Let's talk about this factually. I don't
Okay.
do emotional conversations, and we're going to have to address this.
Okay, it's okay. So let me quickly let Prince Francis Chilaka chime in while we get your mic correct. Correct your mic. Go ahead, Prince Francis. You'd like to say something?
Well, at the time, Nigerians are finding it difficult to survive. At the time, Nigerians are more like begging for food. At the time, life has become very difficult, extremely difficult for Nigerians. You now have a National Assembly that is jamboreeing, and then you have a president that is making, some mistake. And rather than apologize, which is what is expected of a president as a leader, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. He said, I wrote 11. He emphasized that I wrote 11. In other words, he knew what he was doing. It wasn't like a joke. And, you see, you have a president that understands the mindset of the political class. And that statement he made that you have all been re-elected, I am telling you, a lot of people are going to go home with it.
And they clapped.
And yes, and what played out in a do election is likely one is going to play out.
What played out in a election?
We know what played out. We saw all the shenanigans that happened.
What was that?
You've forgotten that when the president asked them if they wanted a do state, and they said yes. You see, we are in a country where the executive arm of government have swallowed the judiciary as well as the legislative. So people are not doing the oversight functions they're meant to do. They're not doing it. Ordinarily, Mr. President will come and present a budget, and people will begin to ask questions. But what did you see? First of all, you saw your Senate president singing praises of his president. I mean, this is...
Some would say, just like Mr. Kunle said, he said that, first of all, that your first observance was just a mere mistake, an honest mistake. And do you not think we're taking things too serious in this country?
No, when you are in a position of authority and you make a mistake, and it's pointed out, you apologize, you take it back, but you don't rub it in.
All right,
what Mr. President has done is to re-emphasize that yes, he said I wrote 11.
So
it means that it was something done deliberately.
Prince Francis, the area where a lot of Nigerians are concerned about the National Assembly and what happened today at the joint session was the fact that the last time the president was there, they sang the same song to him. So it's looking more like a welcome song. And this is done by an arm of government that is supposed to checkmate the executive. So when this kind of smooth relationship happens, what is the impression they are creating?
It is not, let us not call it smooth relationship. What you have is people who have sold their conscience. They have mortgaged their conscience. Because the legislative arm is meant to checkmate. When those who found Nigeria, when those who defined democracy set these things, they set in such a way that each one of them work independently, checkmate each other to ensure the delivery of the beauties of democracy. But when you have a situation where everybody is going on the same line, there must be something people are benefiting. Okay. And that is why you see a lot of people, you see a lot of people from Labour Party all decamping to APC.
All right. So,
why?
Okay.
No, please. Why do you see that happening? You see it happening because people are looking for where there's juice, the juicy side. That's where everybody's going to. And like I keep saying, people who were voted under a Labour Party, they don't even know what Labour Party stands for. So this whole idea of putting logo of parties, we have to end it. If we want to be serious with our democratic tendencies and all of that, we need to put the picture of the person that is contesting so that people will know who they're voting for. This logo of party is deceiving Nigerians.
Okay, all right. Mr. Kunle,
there's so much right now
Okay.
that I have to say because there are multiple things. We're on radio,
okay.
and I need to say something.
Go
First
ahead,
and
please.
foremost,
First, I was even hoping that you give us a little.
I need to clarify something.
Okay, I was hoping you're going to actually give us a brief function of the electoral college that you
Okay,
did.
the electoral
Just
college.
so that Nigerians will understand.
The
what you
electoral
do.
college is well focused on political literacy. Worked for about 5 years in Nigeria. We've educated.
Is it a government? Is it government owned?
No, we're not.
Okay.
So once people tell something people do not share an opinion with, the general assumption is that it's government.
No. I'm asking this
No,
question
I
for the
know.
purpose
No.
of
it's-
educating my audience. Don't get it wrong.
No. This
Okay.
this point I'm making
Okay.
is the point where general assumption, and this
Okay.
is for your audience too.
Okay.
General assumption is when you give facts, people assume that you support the government. I'm non-partisan, and I could have been doing a lot of things. Trust me, if I went on the dark side.
No,
I
no
know
one
what
has said
I
that.
know what I'd
No-
have
no
done.
one
No,
has said that.
I'm clarifying something because I'm about to dispel
Oh.
quite a lot of things.
All right.
First and foremost, I do not deal with the emotional perspective of politics. I deal with what it is. He said something about Labour Party and the people candidates moving.
And their ideology.
According to the electoral law, Labour Party has the choice to present its candidates. Whoever it produced and how they act, that's Labour Party's choice. Nobody has influence over that but Labour Party. So don't say that publicly and blame somebody else. It's a Labour Party problem. Next, I'm going to say, clearly, subjectively, if you look at the National Assembly, first and foremost, if you're going to be angry about a mandate song, I would ask you to just Google. The President of America has a theme song himself. For me, those are things that we are not even supposed to be talking
A
about.
theme song that
They
the
are not-
Senate, when the president, sorry to cut you
Please
short.
let me land. You people should let me land before you start shooting bullets.
I-
No, we're not
Nobody
shooting, but you
shooting
said
you.
something. We're
Nobody
responding to
shooting you.
you.
You're sounding
You
quite
said the
defensive
president.
already.
Well,
You
what-
said you
what-
said the
what-
president
what
of the
said
US
anything
has his
at
own
all.
theme song, and she thought to ask a theme song that the
President, the senators and the
congressmen would sing after him.
to him
To
when
him,
he
when he
appears
appears
before
before
them.
them.
That's what I was.
Is
trying
that what
to
they
get
do in
to.
the
The
US?
theme song of the President of the US, and you can Google it. It's played
Everywhere,
You
even
don't
in the Senate, when he
understand.
appears
In the
before
floor of the
congressmen.
Congress, would they play to him and stand up and eulogize
this
him?
is hard. If you allowed me finish,
Okay, it's okay.
it
Go
would be a
ahead.
lot more interesting.
No. We just wanted clarification as
Because
you
I'm trying to
go.
clarify the
Okay.
the theme of every time the president appears, be it
Okay.
the Senate, they do the what they call it, State of the Union, which is where the Congress is, and you can Google it. President's theme song in America is played. I'm not justifying our
State
mandate
of the
being
Union.
played. State of the Union is when the Congresses are together and he presents it. Whenever the president appears, the theme song of the president is being played. Standard American protocol. Even if you've watched movies like Independence Day and etc., that happens. But that's not. I'm trying to sieve through quite a lot of things that are not important. When the president made the statement that the 10th Assembly, first, the president does not write his speeches. We all know that. It comes from the office of the chief of staff of the president and his media advisors and etc. That's where the president's speech comes from. No president in the world, I think, writes his speeches. Yeah, he could adjust a little bit, switch a little bit, but they don't write their speeches. Yeah, an error probably made by one person along the road. But these are errors that the president could have read with his eyes, and of course, since he understands the politics, he should have been able to say that was the 10th. But even though he did that and he joked, he's not indirectly saying he's going to circumvent an election. He just joked about it to follow. Yeah, and also the onus on responsibilities on leadership to apologize. Yes, but I think he did, and trying to do it in a playful manner because he was addressing. He wasn't addressing the people of Nigeria. He was addressing the National Assembly.
The National Assembly are Nigeria. No. Oh, come on, guy, you're head of electoral college now. Those are representatives of the entire Nigerians.
You see?
Are you kidding me, Oga?
you see?
No, let's educate the people properly.
You see?
Oga, I'm
No,
sorry.
madam.
How can you say that the president addressing the joint assembly would not be addressing Nigerians? How about now?
Madam, you've already validated what I said. What you said, in defense of what you said, is representative of the Nigerian people.
And that is not Nigerians.
No, please let me know.
Okay.
The key word being representative. When I say he's not addressing that, he's addressing politicians being elected to represent Nigerians. Am I wrong or am I right?
So if you disrespect, sorry, if
He
you
didn't
I'm
disrespect
coming. I'm just
anybody.
saying.
That's
I did
just
not say
his sense
disrespect.
or
No, no, no.
level.
I'm giving you an example. Oh, Ogana, they take life too
this is
serious now.
about to-
You know, serious like that. You know, serious like
After
that.
you've
No, no,
told
no.
me,
I'm just trying to say that. So, for instance, if you come to my house and you disrespect my father, have you not disrespected my entire family?
Please, where was it disrespect?
I am asking you a question. I just gave an example. I'm not saying he disrespected. So if you come to my house and something happens, and if my mama give you food, chop, you say the food no sweet. You never disrespect my household, generally. Is a question I asked. So, I mean, trying to marry the fact that the representative of the people, whether they are politicians or not, are a wholesome
Now, Precious, let me just help you guys. Maybe
of the people.
he's
Isn't
in
it?
charge of the electoral college. We are on the other side. We just look at things. The truth of the matter is that the day you elected your senators and your honorable members, Nigerians handed over their sovereignty to them.
Those people now,
That is
their representatives handed them over to
It is what it is all over the world. You have handed over your sovereignty to them. So anybody
You
addressing
are
them,
playing on two different parameters. Oga, please don't talk like this. I said he was addressing representatives of the Nigerian people, not the Nigerian people.
The
We are both saying the same
representatives
thing.
of-
But everybody in that room is a politician. Am I right or am I wrong? It's an elected politician. Am I right or
I
am
think
I wrong?
we're saying the
And
same
we
thing.
need to- it's just in
And
different
those
ways. And that's what
elected
I'm saying.
politicians
But
are
not
the
always-
people.
but-
The other are
that
by
represents the
But
people.
the point I was trying to make in it is that the National Assembly right now is the most polarized National Assembly. It has 8 political parties represented there. So if you want to say the National Assembly is, I don't know what language you want to use, it's one party. It's not.
No, but
Totally not.
that
No, I'm
would-
just
we
saying
never
if you
said
want
that.
to, no, I didn't say anybody. I just, okay, you know what?
When you say if you want to say,
No, I'm
it
just saying
looks like
generally.
it's
Figure,
where
I
we're
didn't say you
heading
said.
to.
I said if you want to say it's one party, it's not. If you want to say it's 2 parties, it's not. It's not 3 also. It's not 4. It's not 5. It's not 6. It's 8. So you can't say you probably have one party. Okay, then the onus is this. What was the opposition doing? Why did the opposition complain about a particular part of this thing? And everybody's negating the fact that the opposition is exactly doing the same thing. So if we have a national
It
assembly,
is exactly what we're saying now. We mentioned that everybody stood up and sang
No,
along.
everybody
and
did
we
not
did
stand
as-
up. There were some people
some
who
of
were
them.
seated.
But I was
too.
saying that the point is that is it democratic? That's the point. You did mention the US, and we asked,
And
should it be democratic for a body? You don't get the point. For an arm of government
That is
that should be
supposed to
checkmating
checkmate
the
the other
order.
body.
Because we have to teach our children rights. I don't know why we remove some courses from school. We need to teach them rights. What is the function of the legislative arm of government? What is the function of the executive arm of government? If an arm of government is supposed to checkmate the order, and they come, they eulogize you, and they stand up and they sing for you and hail you, what I'm asking
What
is that
impression are they even
what
creating?
impression has that created? That's the point. Let's
tell
make
you
Nigerians
something.
understand.
Yes, so Nigerians should understand this petrological rule. Everybody in the world, regardless of anywhere, stand up for the office of the president. The most exalted
We're talking
position.
about the
Oh,
well.
we
no,
let
no.
they talk standing, and we
No,
they talk
no.
singing, or guy good no could they break
Can
down.
you
We they talk
allow
about
me?
singing.
I let you talk.
Okay.
Now. You are
Okay.
not. Before I complete a sentence, you're interrupting.
Hey,
I'm
that's
losing it now. I can't. I'm not getting anywhere now. Before you again.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Okay, so here we are.
All right, sir.
Everybody stands up for the office of the president. Let's not get that mixed up. Or the prime minister.
course.
Let's not get that
Of
mixed
course,
up.
okay.
As regards the song, every country is unique with its own behavior. If we carry our own political illiteracy at every level, including elected position, and decide to sing for the president, that is a Nigerian choice. You can't. We've elected them. You can shake your head as much as we want, but that's the truth. We've elected people who have not even read the constitution. Please let me take you back to 2022, when the Electoral Act was passed. And I worked on the Electoral Act. So here's the conversation. These people allowed it. I did not know that they were removed as delegates and offered it to the president. President signed, of course, the Electoral Act. And then they found out they were no longer delegates in an election. How could you assent to a bill that you hadn't read? Then these are the people you are now complaining about.
This still brings us back to checkmating and the responsibilities of the legislatures.
Let me ask
We're
you
not
a
just
question.
talking about
Let me
the
ask you a
current
question.
administration.
You are the
This is
media.
overtime
I'm
thing.
going to ask you a question. You are the media.
We're the one doing the questioning.
No.
We're the ones doing the questioning, not you.
No. This time I'm going to question.
No, you're not.
Do you know why?
You are
Because-
not the one
Now
to
your choice to
question
answer or
us.
not.
No.
So it's okay.
You're not
Go
the one to
ahead.
question us on the
Don't
program.
answer. No, don't answer now. But to make it interesting, The media itself, if you bring a senator here, the first question they are going to ask him is about constituency projects. I don't need your answer. And guess what? Constituency projects are non-constitutional.
But unfortunately, you just judge us without even knowing us. I
I
would
didn't
never.
judge you.
I
When
would
I said
never.
media,
I'm saying.
when I said
I am
media,
not all the media.
didn't
I am
say-
precious.
I didn't say 90.3.
Aha.
I did not.
You said
I
the
used-
media. You
I used the
generalized.
word the media.
That means
said
you
you
generalize.
guys-
That
you
means
said you
including
guys, the
me.
media.
No, which-
Including me. I have interviewed. I've interviewed legislatures that I never asked them. What I asked them was, what bills did you pass? What promises did you make to your people before you got into office that got you elected? What bills have you passed to help attend to their needs?
That means
Those were
That
questions.
means you are in the rare 3% that would ask that question. And I'm not talking because I work for something that works extensively over Nigeria. So when I say the media, I'm telling you over 80% of the media make that mistake. I'm not saying 93. Did I say 90.3 FM makes that mistake? I didn't say that. I said the media, which means way above 50%. And I'm right. I'm not asking you. I know we have this data because our work is political literacy. So I know. I'm not asking you. So when I did call your station, so when I'm not referring to you when I use the word media.
Hey, but you see now,
I'm
when
not
dry
referring
bones
to
are mentioned, you expect old women not to shake.
Oh, that's how it is. It's just like a
Can you tell me
I'll
more?
tell you something. It's like a good politician comes here and he's sitting down here. He's going to take the brunt of all the bad things.
Unfortunately,
bad
I don't
done.
also do that.
No, I'm just saying.
I don't. I'm also still saying I judge people based on
No,
what
please,
they say
Can we
instantly.
not discuss when we use the word media? I don't mean you.
Okay, it's okay.
I don't mean
Thank
you.
you. I surrender.
mean
Honorable.
Generally.
Honorable, I surrender. So going back to the conversation at hand, right? You're clearly stating, for instance, by your explanation, that there is nothing wrong with the joint
I
assembly.
don't know when I said that.
Eh.
What I clearly said is everybody stands up for the president. If Nigeria,
No,
and
na-
I'll
I
quote
said
my words
singing.
exactly.
I said singing,
I'll
oh.
quote my words exactly. I said if Nigeria in its political illiteracy chooses to sing for a president, then that is Nigeria. Is that not what I said?
Eh.
That is
And
what
it's
I
okay.
exactly
Okay.
said. So,
Okay. But you refuse to state whether it is democratically right or wrong.
wait, how
Help us tell us now. You're teaching. You're electoral college now. I'm
You're
graduate
here
for this your
to-
school.
you're here to
Teach
educate
us.
people.
How
Teach
much
us.
do you want me to say?
Just tell us.
I said Nigeria in its political illiteracy decides to
Hey.
sing for its
Is that
president.
okay?
Then,
Is that okay?
then our concern be that.
What have I
Then
told
our
you?
concern be
Is that
that.
okay?
I've told
It's
you
okay.
It's wrong. I said in its
Okay.
political illiteracy.
Decides
Is that
to
not
do
the
that.
word I used? So
Okay.
I'm interested
All right, it's
in
okay.
you.
Let's let this case. You want to say something else because you've been jumped. It's Francis
No,
Chilaka.
I want to really know the where this electoral college we talk about, what they have really done in terms of deepening democracy in Nigeria, because we don't even hear about this group.
Oga, why have you not been coming to my radio? You're going to pay me for today's coming because I've given you free adverts that I'm not supposed to give to you.
This is not an advert. But the
It
point
is what?
is this.
Free education.
No,
Okay.
the point is this. He talked about literacy. He talked about educating the Nigerian people. And that is what we need most. We need to understand at what point in time certain things can go the way they should go. For me, the political class in Nigeria have not lived up to expectation. So we need people who would come in and tell them this is how to do things. I, for one, as a Nigerian, I felt bad with what happened at National Assembly. And this thing that happened at National Assembly is happening across the entire 36 states. Few days ago, in Imo State, the governor's wife celebrated birthday. It was like another whole... And then I keep asking, is it that this political class that we have today, are they not feeling the pulse of the people? Are they not understanding that, this is not a time for anybody in Nigeria to be doing merrymenting and all of that? This is not the time. This is the time I expect that Mr. President will walk in there, forget all the grammar, all the praising from the Senator Akpabio, because that is who he is. The other day he was in Port Harcourt telling us why President Bola Tinubu chose Wike as the FCT Minister. It wasn't necessary.
All right.
So we need to have a vibrant democratic system, vibrant leaders, people who can think out of the box. That is what we need in Nigeria today. Not people who just come and start singing one political song in the National Assembly and people feel that it is okay, or some people feel there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, come on. We need to move out of this whole shenanigans. We need to be people that have a vision and a focus.
All right. So moving on to other issues very quickly. We do hear that the National Petroleum Company, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has revealed that the federal government, through the company, took a loan of $1 billion to support the Dangote Refinery project when it encountered some financial difficulties. So the NNPCL head of corporate communications, Olufemi Shoneye, made this revelation during his remarks at the Energy Relations Stakeholders Engagement in Abuja today, highlighting the achievement of the Apex National Oil Company under the leadership of Malam Melekiari. Shoneye said, permit me to digress a little bit. Under the visionary leadership, well, he did mention that. Let's not even drag it. But this brings the question, the fact that I may throw this to you because it's not an election matter, except you want to jump in on it. The fact that Nigerians are wondering, how does an entity, you don't want to jump in on that?
I want to tell you, you asked me to define the electoral code. I didn't want to.
Oh, okay, so we'll get back to that.
Our work is not election. Our work
Okay.
is governance
Okay.
and political literacy.
So are you a CSO?
Yeah, it's CSO,
Okay.
but yeah, we work with 18 political parties. We are deeply entrenched. We're at everybody's primaries. We've worked extensively, even educating different parties, including Labour, which I'm sensing you are part of. And I can sense people and their parties.
I'm not a Labour member.
No problem.
Yes.
I apologize. NNPP.
Is how you're quick to apologizing for me?
No, I know. And we've worked across different systems. And,
Okay.
and we also work with governance. We also put political literacy in governance at 70%.
So what have you done with political literacy, with political education, basically? Because Nigerians, are found to be very laid back in Africa in terms of political
Nigerians
education.
don't want to hear, and people that don't want to hear, especially
Ah,
those
so Nigerians don't want to learn.
they don't want to hear. I'm telling you,
Tell me now, tell
they
me.
don't want to learn. Like, if
So
you
these
tell-
ones we're doing here, please speak to
Okay,
this.
if we
So these
tell-
ones we're doing
if
this
we-
is
if we tell them this is this, they don't want to hear. So they like to find out the hard way. First and foremost, you talk about an election generally. How many of you who told you election? I don't. I blame the NOA for this, and I'm not holding any bars. Why are you telling people voting? Yeah, Nigeria, we have a selection, not an election.
hey,
Were
He
you
has
part of
scattered
the
the table.
primary?
hey, the
Were you
table we're
part of-
managing.
Are you part of the primary? How Atiku take Image? How Kankaso Image? They there now. They just tell you A, B, C, D, E. You just say, okay, this one is okay with me. It's Igbo. This one is okay with me. It's Hausa.
So we
This one
have a
is okay.
selection process and not an
Yeah,
election
we
process.
don't. Where do you have an election? Number one, I'll tell you something. How many people even know the electoral act? Do you know that we are not even so every election and every primaries that was done in 2023 is not even supposed to be existent because one of the first laws in the electoral act, I think 4 something, I can't remember which exact number, is the fact that every political party of the 18 must submit an electronic and a hard copy of its total membership in Nigeria to INEC.
Hard
before-
copy?
Listen, INEC and hard and electronic. And this is before any convention or primaries are done. All 18 political parties feel this, meaning that every primaries and convention done preceding 2023 are null and void. But you don't know that now because as usual,
so-
as Nigerians, we don't know.
No. So the point is,
Yeah.
who is supposed to hold them accountable? Is it not at the point of the implementation of the law? Shouldn't the what do they call them? INEC, who also goes to supervise those primaries, be held responsible?
You can't mortgage your responsibilities as a citizen. If you know what's happening in Equatorial Guinea, you're supposed to know your electoral. It's that simple. If you know what's happening with Davido and Chioma, you're supposed to know your electoral. It's common information. Come on, Nigeria should stop this nonsense. And laws are only as strong as the number of people that know it. That's the truth. Stop deceiving yourself. Institutions are built because people know the law. Go to America, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, they know their constitution. Who has the constitution on their phone here? Let's ask the question here now. Well, I mean, say you want us to play rough. Let me remove.
Nobody, no,
You have- yes.
we're not saying
You
we're
are
playing
I'll
rough.
give you a gift. You are one out of.
For my 2 phones, self, not be one.
That's brilliant. Very few people do, and the truth is nobody has looked at it, and nobody even has looked at the electoral act. If you haven't looked at it, I even blame whoever went to go and was an opposition leader and went to go and pay a lawyer to do his work. the lawyer too didn't look at the electoral act. I'm sorry, but the NBA. Sorry, no offense to the NBA, but lawyers are they too. Let's not talk about them. Those ones don't even know anything. So.
Can you just be nearing your mics more, because
Yeah,
what you're
so-
saying is too interesting for you?
Yeah,
to-
so the
for us to listen to-
Constitution is
listen to
not
the
a
points.
gift. It's not a birthright of lawyers. The Constitution belongs to every Nigerian. It's the holy book of every
Of course.
Nigerian. So
It's
if you
what binds
refused
us.
it to read it as a Nigerian, and you've left it to lawyers who are busy doing charge and bail or trying to do company or one other funny thing that also have not read it, and trust me, I've spoken at quite enough conferences with lawyers to say this.
So since since your organization has sued or somehow systematically taking the job of the NOA, like you said,
I
what have you been?
didn't take the job of
Okay,
the
you
NA.
didn't. About your
Because-
electoral college.
No,
So you
because-
should be enlightening us
No,
about
no, no, no,
elections.
no.
So what have you guys
The
done to
NOA
educate
has-
people?
The NOA right now has no job, so they're doing something else. So don't say I took their job.
Hey, you say the NOA is jobless.
They are
No,
moribunds.
people are being paid.
That
The same thing.
Do you
is
know the
happening-
amount of budget that's is accrued to them?
Precious,
Yeah,
the same thing
sir?
has happened with NNPC all over time.
yeah, and coming back to NNPC, that's the problem. How you have a so-called private holding, and this is really funny by Nigeria. You have a so-called private holding, and that
But
private
owned by
no,
Minister of Finance and
that
okay, so let me
private
keep
holding,
quiet.
the government can automatically request $1 billion. Why don't they ask for $1 billion from Coca-Cola? But
Good.
that doesn't happen, and then you request $1 billion.
You shall pay for mentioning that name. now.
Listen, oh sorry.
Listen to public
Okay.
radio.
So $1 billion from NNPCL, and this gets interesting. You don't have working refineries, and you're paying a private individual.
Hey, no, now you're paying. You're taking a loan. That is the question I wanted to ask. Now, at this point, we have about 4 refineries, or NNPC had, not we, because they'll not be us again, they'll be limited. So they had, or still have, right, 4 refineries that are moribund, that they have spent a lot of money trying to revitalize.
That's what Potako they said is working.
At the point where they borrowed the money now. Honorable,
At the
I'm
point
coming.
when they
Where they borrowed the money, yeah.
No
so
refinery.
no, the refineries were not functional,
Yeah.
right? And we have pumped in Nigeria, us now, because my tax money was part of it, had pumped in money to them, NNPC, to use to revitalize and do the turnaround maintenance severally, and they have refused
There's a
to.
critical point you need to make.
Okay.
It wasn't even a local currency.
Dollars.
Those causing problem to us because they carry dollars.
Honorable, you're
So-
worsening our sickness.
So let's continue.
Okay,
No, I
so-
just want to
so-
clarify
so-
that
okay,
part.
so-
that we can continue.
So the fact that you don't even have a working refinery, and we have spent a lot of money at that time, we spent about billions of dollars too, trying to revitalize that same refinery or the same refineries we don't have. And then you now see somebody who now wants to have their own, and perhaps does not have enough money. You now say, hey, I get money, I get property where I need to use, if you use, go borrow money for you. Then you now go and borrow money and give to the person to go and execute his own. Please, what sense does that make? Because it's confusing to Nigerians to the extent that right now, even though they say that the Port Harcourt refinery or one of the Port Harcourt refineries are working, but people who live around there, I'm from River State, are saying that they're just blending there. Because if the refineries are working, where's the gas flare? Oh, they're suppressing the gas. Where's the process of the gas you're suppressing? Where the quantity, where the gas they suppress? No, could they see? So what are you telling us? So what is this whole drama? Is this something the NNPCL is not telling Nigerians? And why has it become very difficult for the NNPCL to be accountable to the people whose resources they're using and managing?
You know, let's be clear. The NNPCL is not privatized. Let's not deceive ourselves.
Oh.
I don't know which private company any of you. Please point me in that direction. It's Christmas. That will borrow somebody $1 billion just like that. I don't know. Please, sir. Sir, do you know any? Please point me in that
KPMG.
direction.
No, but you see, when we talk about this NNPCL, I've always asked the question: who are the owners of NNPCL? Who are they accountable to? Don't forget that this whole issue of loan taken on behalf of Dangote Refinery started with CBN. When Emefiele in 2023, I think May or so, either May or before May, told Nigerians that Dangote Refinery has paid back 70% of the loan granted them. And then people started asking, you are telling us 70% has been paid. How much was loaned to Dangote? How come Nigerians don't know? So, a central bank has become...
And that is different from the amount that they also told us that they gave them in a lower dollar rate.
Good.
Remember that?
So, And CBN has become an organization on its own, giving out loan, using Nigeria money to give loan to a refinery and not telling Nigerians the amount.
but
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, they come and said there was about $9 billion. And then they said 70% did. So what is remaining was about 2.7 billion. Now, with that, the question I'm going to ask NNPCL, at what point did they now go and borrow 1 billion to give to Dangote? From what we heard, which Dangote said earlier, was that NNPCL was investing in Dangote Refinery. And that the investment was going to give Nigeria, well, NNPCL, representing Nigerians, in quotes, 20% stake. Now,
That didn't happen.
At the end of the day, Dangote came out and said that the thing has been reduced to
7.24.
Because they
7.24.
don't
So
pay
people
money.
people start asking questions. How did 20% suddenly become
Reduced to 7.24%.
They said, oh, it is 1 billion that they brought in, not as a loan, but as part of their investment. The original investment is about 2.2 or 2.3 or 2.7 billion. That was what NNPCL was supposed to invest. Now, you are a man. You don't have a wife.
2.76 billion was.
You are a man. You don't have a wife. You don't have money to marry. You have told everybody you don't have money to marry. You don't have a home. And then you have a friend who wants to marry. You go and borrow money to give the person to marry. Are you normal?
You don't know whether you know get waiting go use my that is waiting.
Are you normal?
Wait. But you know,
Take care of the
for
wife.
me, Nigerians are attacking the symptoms of the problem. Let's go to the root cause.
Corruption.
Which is
When people are financing people's election, people don't used to object. You see, it's the dividends of financing elections. that you people are
So wait, it's
collecting.
not an enterprise where you
Oh,
put
no,
money
no,
and
my
get
mouth,
make
oh,
profits.
please. You saw what Ekiti landlord did to Delhi. I'm not say it's my mouth. I'm not there. I didn't call anybody's name. I said Ekiti landlord. I used the word
course.
correctly. Ekiti landlord did to somebody else. I don't want to call anybody's name, but this thing starts at when people start financing. Okay, 3 presidential candidates are running. I give each of them 1 billion. I give each of them a private jet. What do you think I'm planning? You think I just love the flag, green, white, green? Are you guys joking?
so you're investing.
I don't know. I didn't say it. Like I said, I don't want to end up like somebody. They'll shift me to Kaduna or somewhere. I don't want to. But
So why does this keep us? And what can we do to educate
truth
our
is
people
that-
on their rights?
the truth is that, first and foremost, we need to understand that Nigeria right now is a buffet of corruption. Everybody's waiting for their turn. And that's how it is.
Are you
A
serious?
few of us might complain about it, but the moment they make you now...
No, you now. You can't use me as an
you know the
example.
beautiful thing?
No, that is you
know the
now.
beautiful thing, my profile is not complete. I've served in government. I don't have a car. I don't have this. I don't have a that. I just steal 1 naira. So what are you talking about? I already can defend myself by time.
Have you tried me in government? I have worked in the media. I've never taken a brown envelope.
wait.
You were here. No, you were here just when I was telling our friend that I interviewed politicians.
no,
I'm not taking 1 naira.
No, but let's not.
50 kobo.
I'm not a politician.
So,
Why am
I'm
I
just saying
collecting
too.
values?
So if you're giving yourself some accolades, I deserve
No,
some accolades
okay,
for myself
thank you
too.
very much. I'll give you accolades.
Thank
But
you.
we need to understand that Nigeria is a buffet of corruption. There are very rare few that will do things for the love of country or whatever. Nobody really loves this country. Everybody looks at what they can get.
This is painful to hear.
no,
But it's true.
am I lying?
I've always said that the crop of Nigerians we have, including our leaders,
loves this
none of them has patriotism running through their blood veins.
No, but sir, where it's shocking is that as much as we like to call the leaders into question, I've also run for office, so I know what happens with the followers. The moment you say, okay, I'll tell you what happened. I ran for Senate in Abuja in 2019. The moment I declared I was running for Senate in 2016, my landlord increased my rent by 150%. My friends that were to build my website and etc. increased the price of that by more than close to 400%. And the list goes on and on and on and on. And when we do that, we don't yet, so for me, where the problem even lies is that we don't yet have political parties. We have political parties, but not in the sense of it. How would I do the manifesto of a political party when, let's be honest, Nami bring 10 million, buy form. Nami bring 30 million, bribe delegates. let me bring 100 million, run my campaign. Then I will enter there and do your manifesto. You are smoking something now. Are you joking? It's true now. What's the party? So the only places where you see political party manifestos work is where the political party itself invests money. And before you say political parties don't have money, the Electoral College sets it that the top 5 political parties earned over 500 billion from selling forms alone in 2023.
So this is sickening. So does it mean that you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel for Nigerians? But before you answer that question, you define the light for your eye. let me play this. Let me go for this commercial break. I'll be right back, Lagos.
Moments to live, create and make believe. If it ain't graceful like royalty, trust your gut, it's not regal. Feel it flowing through, taste so good, so you let go and let your spirit thrill your senses. Open up a bottle of Regal Deluxe. We on some chilling things. Spirits up, Regal Gin in. Open up a new experience. Spirits up, Regal Gin in. So smooth and rich. Spirits up, Regal Gin in. Open up a bottle of Regal Deluxe.
Introducing Regal Deluxe Gin, a new taste for an enjoyable drinking experience. Drink responsibly. Regal, a natural gin crafted for your experiences.
Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
Hear that? That's ice cubes falling into a glass. You're burning for a drink. A shot of that Regal Deluxe will do. You need that smooth chill down your throat. That tingle in your senses that makes you shut your eyes. Before you take a sip, you like to watch the spirit mix with the ice. You bring it closer. You taste it. That right there, that was a smooth moment. A redefining moment. Open your eyes and enjoy the new Regal Deluxe, a gin-flavored spirit drink. Regal. Crafted for your experiences. Not to be sold to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
The Evening Rush with Pressures. All right, Lagos, welcome back. It's still 90.3 Voice of the People FM, and we've been speaking with Mr. Kunle Lawal. Yes, I wanted to be sure it was Lawal. He is the DG of Electoral College. Calm down now. Now somewhere in the position they start from. Now small they start like that. He's the director, executive director, ED of the Electoral College. Mr. Kunle, so I did ask a question. That doesn't mean that there is no light at the end of the tunnel. Are we going to continue with this innate corruption like this for how long, and how does any country survive like this?
So I don't want to use my work here, but what we've noticed clearly is that there's a big problem, and we've tried to educate, I would say 25 and above, and we've noticed we have great success. I'll be honest.
So from the younger generation,
but
we're not going to pursue the older ones now.
Yeah, but in January we're starting the Electoral College Club in schools, and we've had a test run before that in secondary schools, and we're having great success with that. We believe we can mitigate a lot of work that we're doing by imputing those that will probably participate in elections in 2027 and beyond. So do
you see a little bit of improvement in terms of awareness?
Yeah, I do.
Before the 2027
election? I do.
I noticed that there was some level of awareness in 2023.
Yeah,
did you notice that it was quite different from what we had in 2019?
Yeah, but we'll never.
But how well did you put that into use anyway?
We're the quiet guys in the room, and nobody gives us accolades for it. But we've been able to take quite a lot, and a lot of work we've done, even local government autonomy. There's a lot of it that we could be accredited for. Do you understand? And we've actually altered quite a few bills in the house and etc. So it's not perfect. If you've ever run against a set of horses that are pulling in the opposite direction, you know that it's not quite. I didn't say anything. I didn't refer to anybody. Please, I said horses. So the horse is pulling in the opposite direction. It's kind of hard and it's technical. So we found out that maybe going to war doesn't necessarily bring. So small changes, playing under the carpet, trying to push a few things across board. Because our key is to ensure country. I sign everything for the love of God and country. That's how I sign every document. So it's what I try to instill, even within the college. It's what we try to instill: love for God and country.
How are you guys funded?
I know that's the next question. I decided, some politicians got together and then they just give us money. Really? I know that's not how I funded. They're not funny. So when I ran for,
just remind me. They drive me.
When I ran for office in 2019, I seemed to draw a trajectory which surprised everybody. 49 bills while running for office, higher than any African legislator in history. So a lot of people seem to think that I was worth some mantle. So when we came together with a few friends and started the electoral college with the purpose of educating, because people like us couldn't enter when people didn't understand what it was.
Are you planning to recontest anytime soon? Perhaps 2027?
No. I look at me, the gray hair. I'm actually a lot older, but the gray hair came from politics. It's enough. Thank you. I'm retired. So the electoral college, of course, decided to evolve, and then I raised quite some money while running for office. So those people kept believing in the same dream. And they started. Now we have cohorts funding each other, as in a cohort, because class is free. So they just come and next cohort, we're bringing 1 million, we're bringing this. And I didn't believe that could happen. I didn't see that trajectory. But we also have internal funds now coming in our 5th year. Started having external funding from donors, international. How long
has been running?
5 years.
5 years
this is
now.
our 5th.
Okay.
We're running on 6th year now, but 5 years in June. 5 years last June.
All right. Okay. Interesting. Nigerians, phone lines are open. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions while we go back to, noticing what's happening in the country. Would you like to chime in on the wicked telling seconders that we made you, make yourself? After all, from heaven fall down, that we make you. And what do you make of what's happening? The whole Wike Fubara drama and then Wike land grabbing accusation in Abuja,
etc. Considering I've been in the FCT for 24 years, and I also worked under Josephine Aneni when she was minister, which was the first time I met Wike as a local government chairman. It's quite surprising how far he's come and how arrogant he's become.
Did you say arrogant?
I think arrogant is even a subtle word.
I was trying to be sure that that's what you said.
Yeah, it's quite a subtle word. I think power has got into his head. The trajectory of Rivers State, if you guys are from Rivers State, you know the way it is now. The old governor tries to execute this thing, and the new governor shows his power. It has shown from time immemorial coming down, to Fubara right now. And I think Wike seems to forget what he did to Amici, and is thinking he can outwit or maybe whatever. But in the end, I think it's all not good for democracy of Nigeria. I think Wike has made I'll say 50% a good minister, because he's forced contractors to get to work. But he's also grown a little self-enriching here and his cronies, and hence the land grabbing that even Rita Lori
allocating land
is one of the oldest people in Abuja.
Yes.
I know.
So she's going to be homeless for real?
Well, he's about to take her estate, though I heard he's been suspended. I think it's a little far-fetched for him. He's a little drunk with power. And if you ask me, he has lost Rivers State. That's the truth. You can't beat executive power. He knows that. He used to have it before. For me, I think it's very wrong what he's doing. It's totally undemocratic. And I think it's too much power and respect given to the minister of the FCT. Come on. He's not in an elected position. He's appointed. He can go tomorrow. I think that power...
Do you believe in the accusation that he's reassigning those properties to his cronies?
Well, there have been companies alleged, not to be proved in a court of law, so I won't be in my place to say that. But because I live in Abuja, I understand most ministers, and all ministers that Abuja has ever had have been involved in land grabbing, being honest. But maybe it's how softly they did it, and Wike is brazenly coming out with an M16 and saying, give me your land or I'll take you out. He's quite brazen with it, and I think that's where his problem lies.
Okay. So, but do you believe that those people built their houses in government properties?
That's not true. Rita Lori.
Remember, he said that himself.
No. Rita Lori.
He said he's taking it back.
The question I'm going to ask: when did Wike come to Abuja? I remember Wike's first night in Hilton. We got the room for him, and I remember that he was a local government chairman at that time. I've been in Abuja that long, and I don't think he has the right to even say that. Rita Lori is those are talking about the roots of Abuja, people that have put before Abuja became Abuja, people that have put Abuja to become Abuja, or what Abuja is. She will not be in any government property because she would not have survived it. El Rufai's time as minister.
Okay, you mentioned the Kitty landlord just before we open our phone lines. You mentioned the Kitty landlord.
Anybody.
You said something. You said the Kitty landlord.
Yes,
I don't even know what you mean. But do you believe that Peter Obi's visit to somebody associated to a Kitty landlord or a Kitty landlord? I don't know if that's the person you mean. Do you believe that he destroyed the Pharaoh Time's case? Because that's what the lawyer is saying.
If I allude to what you're saying, it means that I'll be legally co-joining a Kitty landlord of that person. So I'll say whoever Peter Obi visited, I don't think he should have. I've noticed something with Peter Obi. I respect him as a man. I like his ideals, but he's practicing an Obama movement in a country of rabid cows. And cows, and it's not like cows have rabies, but I'm trying to tell you the correlation of how Nigerians are missing. So
no, do you understand? It's in the ring for my head. It's okay, go ahead.
I didn't say this. So I don't think his visit would have made any impact to the person he went to see, as regards whatever case he went to see. But going back to the Ekiti landlord, who has nothing to do with that case. Of course, they've moved for criminal actions on a civil case. They've abused quite a lot of laws in Nigeria, and I stand saying that a lot of things are wrong on that matter as regards the Ekiti landlord. But as Peter Obi and the other court case which we were talking about, I think Peter Obi's actions will not change so much.
All right, Prince Francis Chilaka, you have an alternative view quickly before we open up phone lines.
I would always say, let us judge.
Yes, give the man his day in court.
I believe so
that's
much in that, and I am one of those who would say Peter Obi has not come out to tell Nigerians that he went to beg. Nobody has said that. Secondly, let me borrow from him. The landlord of Ekiti
please
has also not come out to tell us that Peter Obi came to beg him. So where is this whole?
But there was a visit.
No. Where is all this narration of begging coming from? Obasanjo reached out. We know that. Not only him, Obasanjo visited. So are we saying that everybody that visits at this point in time has gone to beg? Maybe people have gone to reason. You see, let me tell you, I was telling somebody today, I said, what is happening right now reminds me of what Delegiwa and Ziade Tukumbo also went through. It's a reminder. I would say this, that first and foremost, in all of this, the Nigerian police need to know their role in a democratic setting. The Nigerian police are beginning to behave as if we are in a military role. They're taking the toga of militarization in a democratic system.
No. I think the police have grown wings, because in a military rule, the police could not attempt this.
That's
they
what
could not even
I'm
fight.
I'm saying that they are taking the toga. Yes, that's what they're doing. Because I don't understand why the police would go. And this is something we need to. There's urgent need to reform the Nigerian.
But I had a guest yesterday. I had a guest yesterday on my show. He's a former deputy director of the Department of State Services. He did state about. He did say that the Nigerian police, the Nigerian police behaves the way they behave, or behave the way they behave rather, because of the way they were formed. That they were formed ab initio to protect the colonial masters and enforce taxes. And at the time we now got independence, you understand, and we now have, the same police adopted as our police force, right? That the Nigerian people now use it the same way. That is, the Nigerian politicians now use the Nigerian police the same way to protect themselves and enforce their biddings. He said it. I can play his sound of saying that. If you listen to the show yesterday,
he's not wrong.
That's what he said. So, could you think that that's what's going on?
I don't think he's wrong. And here's why I don't think he's wrong. We have approximately, give or take, almost 500,000 policemen.
300,000.
No, close to 500,000. No. I'll be on at about 500,000. And the truth is, 50% of them are guarding vital assets or VIP. That leaves us with 250,000 to secure 220 million people. That's a joke. It's a big joke. Number one, it's an impossibility. Secondly, and then we're tilting and bringing half the criminals in Nigeria into the police force. How is that even going to
Are you accusing of some policemen of being criminals?
I wasn't the one, no, please.
Prince Francis.
If you Google it, an IG has seen criminals he has arrested before. I'm not the one that said it. Please, it's common.
Are you serious?
Now that you do...
It happened in Abuja. It's not me that said it.
Okay.
Police
no, I'm not saying you said.
It's the IG
we're
that
hearing
said
it from you.
It's the IG that said it. It's not me, and they can Google it. It's not me. It's the IG in Abuja that said it. And he has seen criminals he has arrested on parade in front of him.
In uniforms.
Yes.
Let's go back to the Pharaoh Timi's case a little. You mentioned about the Nigerian police and the role they played in that. Do you know that the commissioner of police who was in charge of that case, few days ago, 2 days ago, yesterday, has been promoted to the position of an assistant inspector general of police? Less than 2 weeks. Does that send any signal?
You see, Nigeria is a country that rewards inanities. Nigeria is a country that rewards you for doing evil, for doing bad. And this is a mindset we need to change. Nigeria is a country that do not punish people. The institutions do not punish you. That is why a governor can embezzle all the money in the state and retire in the National Assembly.
But sir, let's critically.
Nigeria is a country where we have two laws. I've always said it. One law for the rich, one law for the poor. You must be rich, you must have money, you do anything you want to do. You must be poor, you go and steal a goat, you're given life sentence.
Oh yes, you know about the young man who stole a chicken and egg and he was sentenced to death, and he's been in prison, incarcerated since 2010.
But let's be honest.
Okay, sir.
This thing, we can't just put it on government, and I'm going to point out why.
Okay.
If a student passes out of UI Best of Medicine, you're going to give him 200k as welcome.
I know.
But now, if he goes to Big Brother, you give him 18 million,
thousands of
you
dollars,
give him house. No offense
hundreds
to Big
of thousands
Brother,
of dollars.
but if you continue to celebrate mediocrity, what do you think the end will be? What do you think? And they do it. And don't put politicians alone. No. We too, Nigerians, are subscribers to that program. When they kick somebody out, we'll give the person money. Have you ever given the person that had the best SSC in your village money?
You're talking of SSC. When you have what do you call this debate, you give you 50,000 naira.
Well, for what?
50,000 naira for coming
nature.
first.
It's in our nature.
So we need morality in Nigeria has been thrown to the dogs. Today we are basking in immorality,
while other nations are moving ahead.
See, let me tell you, I grew up knowing those days when you go to church, the man of God, the pastor, the priest, his preaching is on morality. Today you have men of God who pray for Yahoo people, Yahoo boys. You have men of God who have found it difficult to speak truth to power. We need to go back to the basics. And that is why I keep saying that the kind of political class we have today, they need to go and dig up the grave of the late Sam Mbakwe, the late Ajasi. Dig up their grave, the late Chakonde. These are men who were models. And when they speak to you, as at that time, you will understand. These are men who had solutions to problems.
But sir, I like to differ here. And what I'm differing on is that Nigeria still has people of class. I know there are a lot.
So why are they not speaking up?
No. They're just a minority. I've seen great Nigerians doing great work, selfless work in different parts, media, police, political parties. I've seen Nigerians that love this country. It's just that we don't want to talk about them, and they are not interesting because of what we have chosen to celebrate in Nigeria. I've seen people break boundaries internationally. Nigerians from nowhere start building engines for Ford.
No. I'm not saying no.
Yeah,
all I'm saying is that everything that is going wrong in this country.
But we don't. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Yes, and I'll tell you there are even groups that have done work even within the same context presently, and I can mention former head of the FCCPC, Babatunde Ukera, Ahmed Salijo of the REA. There was no REA before him. But they were disgraced out of office, messed up out of office because they weren't playing to the tunes of. A lot of people are breaking boundaries in Nigeria, but they're never celebrated by Nigerians because Nigerians only want that guy. Let me tell you something. If I came to your house, just an example, I came to your house, let's say it was a wedding, it was a burial or something. No, God forbid, not burial. Let's not know.
But we must all die. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it was something. And I came and they say Kunle is a politician. And I came and I just hugged everybody and I left. Bros. Okay. So what will be the response? May we tell the truth. What will be the response?
No. What you're trying to say is what your portable said the day he met Peter Obi.
It's not my portable.
that he didn't give shit.
He says.
Okay, I know I'm
because I know you're a Labour Party member now.
No.
He said that if it was Bola Tinubu he was meeting, money for don't scatter. But this money they go, they give shishi. It's a very wrong mindset.
But it's not a lie. That's what we.
It's a wrong mindset.
That's who we. I'll tell you something.
We need to change this trajectory.
We did a trajectory over people that are within the local government in Lagos. And do you know why somebody, and he was in conjunction? Do you know why somebody was saying that this local government chairman is good?
Why?
Because they say anytime there's a birthday party or whatever, the person drops money. That's why the person is a good
doesn't
local
that boil down to the part where politicians weaponize poverty to their own gain?
Accept.
Because people are poor. When people are hungry, they can accept anything now. Anything.
There's one thing. You see, the work with the electoral college. There's one thing. We give everybody their apportionate blame. The citizens should not act like their hands are so clean and they are so
No. We're not saying citizens are saints.
They even have more. They have more blame. But you know why? And I'll tell you why. Do you know why they have more blame? Because number one, there can be no politician without citizens, and there's no politician in this world that can, even in Nigeria, that is massively corrupt, that can steal 1 naira without a civil servant signing it out. It's not possible. So let's come. Who are the civil servants?
How many percentage are the civil servants in the country? How many percentage
you don't know
are
you
they?
have a welfare system in Nigeria known
How
as
many
civil
percentage
service.
are civil servants compared to all Nigerians?
Right, so
That's
we
what
need
I'm
to
saying.
open the phone lines so that Nigerians can jump in on the
How many
conversation.
are civil servants compared to all Nigerians? That's the thing. And again, literacy, you were talking about electoral illiteracy.
You know
how many people are even aware of what is happening around them? A lot of people in the grassroots, they don't know anything about what's happening around them.
I beg to differ. And we have stats to prove that. The grassroots know more about politics than the middle class. Take that one to the bank any day. I wouldn't even argue that. And this is so bad that the middle class is so confused on what exactly. So the problem in Nigeria has always been the middle class. If you want any change or any revolution that you've seen anywhere in the world, be it US, UK, Europe, anywhere in Europe or anywhere in Australia, the change happens when the middle class takes a decision.
So it all boils down to if a man is hungry and there is an election, he is hungry, he comes out to vote, he wants to vote for perhaps a candidate whom he thinks is right, and you give him 10,000 or 5,000, he is hungry, he's going to take the money and do what you want him to do.
You're looking at one direction. Who gives the money?
The politicians.
Have you ever seen a big politician in a ward giving money? No. So let me help you. So I'm going to help you. The transmission point is the middle class. You want me to continue
the big politicians gives to the middle class and it keeps going.
Yes. So the guilty party remains the middle class. Why? They write political party constitutions. They are the ones giving transmitting money. They are the POS.
They are the agents. The agents.
They are still the one collecting money for political banner. They are the one organizing rally. Do you know how guilty the middle class is? And you come all of a sudden and be blaming grassroots. It's the grassroots. Really?
I did not entirely blame
No, I'm not talking
grassroots.
of you.
Oh,
I've told you when I say it, I'm not referring to you. I mean, generally, we blame the grassroots for being uneducated.
Because you remember you also blamed the National Orientation Agency of not doing anything and collecting
that
salaries.
one does not exist anymore.
I didn't blame them. I said they don't exist. They're not different things.
They're not even the radar.
If you want to blame somebody, say the person has to exist.
Hey,
but
all right,
they are there.
Four lines.
They have a name.
Four lines. We'll be speaking with Mr. Kunle Lawal and Prince Francis Chilaka. Kunle Lawal is the executive director of Nigerian College, right? Okay, and we've been talking. Well, phone lines are open. Nigerian 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. The WhatsApp line is 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338. They've been calling me like they want to report me to a village council meeting. Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Good evening, Precious and Promise.
Yes, thank you. Welcome. Go ahead.
Mr. Prince, I greet you. Good evening. And to Mr. Kunle, good evening. God bless you.
You can hear.
My name is Alex. So, Precious, I want to tell you that your guest has said things that are right. We have serious problem in this country. And I took some highlights and
which of the guests now?
Words. Mr. Kunle.
Okay, go ahead.
And also Mr. Chinak has also said the right thing as well. We have I don't mean to insult anyone, but I want to tell you that we have just National Boy Scouts, not National Assembly members. Because in a democratic section, such thing that happened in that National Assembly wouldn't have occurred. But because you have National Boy Scouts standing up and singing a mantra for someone, does that sound democratic? And he also mentioned the point, the people as well. Like when he said during the primaries, how many journalists or citizens were there when they were doing their primaries? And he said the majority of the parties failed that test. What does that tell you? And to capital, the NNPC will have for you to borrow Dangote 1 billion. And how do we get out of this? It is when the people begin internal change. I think there's something happening. The food we even import to eat. I think there's something because I don't know if you know what they call biotech. Like there are some things being injected into food that Nigerians or Africans are eating that are turning people to become mutants, not to lose their sensibilities and even sanity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Precious.
Sir?
Good evening.
Yes, you're welcome. Go ahead, sir. What's your name, sir?
Mr. Kunle, good evening.
He can hear you.
Hello.
Mr. Kunle, good evening.
I said, Mr. Kunle, good evening.
Yes, he can hear you.
Good evening, I can hear you.
Good evening. God bless you, people. God bless you.
What is your name, please? What is your name?
My name is Onajite Jonathan from Delta State, Abraka, by very close to Abraka.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
So please, what do we do to remove ourselves from these people? That is what I want to say. What do we do?
Okay.
To remove ourselves from this bondage, what do we do?
Okay,
I
simple.
just need answer.
Okay, a very simple answer. A very simple answer. A very simple and short answer. Oga,
okay.
When they start, before they start any politics now, 2027, you join party, you dey party or you know dey party. Which one you did? You are a party man.
I did Labour Party.
Oh, you have struggled to become delegate. Choose who come out for your party. Follow them from beginning. See, they lie to you, say politics now voting. They rig election from the beginning, from primaries. If you know they there, you go lose them. Let me just tell you, not deceive yourself. Say, I go carry vote. They choose now from beginning. They choose every part serious. Follow local government election. Even Lagos, may I tell you, Lagos as they get sense pass. Now only 7% they participate for local government. Lagos they no get sense. At least Delta or high pass.
Local government election.
Yes, less than 7% Lagos state. So I don't play figures, don't worry. But I mean, na the same gang. Carry and go court for Abuja court. Join. May we see where it could take come out. Let me tell you something. No local government for Nigeria they collect less than 300 million per month. Now me tell you. Go Google them, go find them.
We need to hold them
FAC directly.
Yes.
We need to hold them accountable.
So how do they get all the monies that makes them?
Alimosho is there collecting 1.8 billion.
Do you know how much they are collecting? All those boys they keep on the street.
Billion, 1.8 billion per month. Alimosho.
There was one that was impeached. What was that local government? That was.
Alimosho.
I was going to. That's why.
The money long now. Why they not going to impeach him? So, Oga, may you do it you're supposed to. Follow the team to the team.
All right. So the best option for us is to be involved.
Forget the lies they are telling you. All those people, hey, you can vote. Your PVC, your PVC is your strength. Look, let me even tell you, the only rigging election can happen. The only way rigging can happen with the new things put down is if you choose not to appear. So if you don't appear, So now let's even try to get this clear. So if all of us cannot participate in the primaries, obviously, but let's also look at the choice of primaries. You see that thing where you talk now? I know why
they rush me now.
I know why
they rush me. Calm down. I'm the queen of PG. Why they rush me?
Talk say that primaries we cannot all participate.
But we can't all participate.
May I ask you a question?
Okay, sir.
You participate for American primaries, yes or no?
We know.
You watch CNN. You watch
yes.
You watch
yes,
you don't participate
directly and or indirectly.
And the points where they make with that.
They there. You know, say na there the cocoa they happen. They there now.
So suppose shine our eye, follow the.
For midnight.
Now for midnight the cocoa they happen. They there now.
Not before AM, just ordinary midnight. So make we follow the.
See, if you follow primaries like this, 18 political parties like this. 18 good people go come out. If we like, may half of us vote. At least now, good person go come out.
Okay, now.
And please.
Let's look at money. Sorry.
Election also no be president. I don't tire to talk this thing. I know why I switched to pidgin now because I heard some of your listeners. So it's not like I can't speak, kind of English you want to hear. But we can also go back to pidgin. See, may with the election no be president. Anybody with it. In short, the president is not. If you pass matters of defense of external aggression or whatever and some economic, your major economy now your local government. We know they follow them. Like I said, Lagos accounts for only 7% participation in local government elections. Yet, places in Lagos, the top 10 highest FAC allocations in Nigeria, 7 are Lagos. 7. Etiosa earns like 968 million per month. And it's million per month. That's almost $1 billion.
Is this an internally generated revenue or from
No,
FAC?
no, who does? No, but Etiosa's IGR is actually
now, where's it make they ask you?
But here's the thing. Etiosa's IGR is about 2.6 billion per month. Yes.
That's sweet. It's not sweet, it's weed.
The biggest IGR there your state now.
River State.
That local government.
When you see wicked shine eye.
Meanwhile, I go there.
You see wicked shine eye for
flyovers. You see as you go. They say flyovers.
You see
now we can put flyover.
When I see wicked shine eye for rivers, this is a joke.
Flyover way now they build for rivers. That to
now
stop.
Mr. Project then call up when
not to stop rain because apart from flyover, I'm not here the river.
All right, phone lines are still open, Nigerians. Please, 0700 903 903. I'm going to have to invite you again, Mr. Lawal.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Innocent. I come from Amman.
Please innocently tell us what you think. Join the conversation, sir.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, crystal clear. Go ahead and join the conversation.
Yeah, please. I say, Kunle Ayakia is saying what I believe. Kunle is saying it's the middle class that makes things happen in politics. That is what I know that. Because I know there are many people, the lower class, maybe the people that this is great. Is those they are going to hear what they are saying is middle class. That's where they are eating. That is who maybe employ them. That is the people that they will come closer to hear which mess are we going. So what I do, what Libya is okay. And again, what I want to ask, all these things they are preparing, the way Nigerians have got it wrong, the way Mr. Jonathan, how we manage is not good in life. If you are in position, you just go out, they just push you out. Without you either voluntarily say, I'm no more interested, or try to put somebody to take over. So now, Nigeria is like in the middle of motion. There's nothing they can do about it for now. Only 2027 finish, 2030, after 2031. That is where Nigeria will get themselves back. Because somebody who have already used strategy to remove somebody, I don't think you use that strategy to remove that person. It's not possible. running is going to be after this 2027 election. The major people who is already in government now will see it. No matter how we think it, no matter how we plan it, I don't think it's going to work. Unless
Thank you, sir.
My,
Your heart skip. I see.
inner chest. Thank
God it didn't affect your womb. It affects your womb.
I have a message that is directed to you.
Okay.
Stephen from Egbeda said, your guest there is being clever by half. He said the American president theme song is for the president of America, not an individual. It is not Joe Biden's theme song. Have anything to say about that?
I talk. I said the president of America. Did I say Joe Biden?
But this one is President Tinubu's theme song now.
This theme song is solely for President Tinubu during his
you know
campaign.
one thing I love Nigerians for? They always hear what they want to hear based on their perspectives. I said,
But Mr. Kunle, you judge Nigerians too much.
No. I said, because I said something clearly. I said, if based on the political illiteracy in the National Assembly, that was my statement. We have already closed the yab and slammed everything.
So are you saying that? Are you you're of the school of thought that the political leaders are a representation of that? I mean, it's a reflection of who the people are, of the reflection of the people. I don't agree. No, talk that thing. Don't hold it, because I do not believe that Buhari is a reflection of me. Neither do I believe that. Neither do I believe that Wike is a reflection of me. I don't believe that. So that's why I'm asking.
May I ask you a question? You don't do WhatsApp group before. You say as WhatsApp group admins debut.
Witches and wizards.
Imagine say they give them Nigeria army. They will scatter everywhere. It's a clear reflection. Let's be honest. Let's not play around.
I don't agree.
Nigerians with very small. Okay,
you may say it's a partial reflection. I may agree, but not a total reflection. Because I clearly don't share same value. I am clearly not same person.
Nothing is ever total, and just like you can't say all politicians are bad, they are good ones.
Okay.
You cannot also say that. So nothing is ever 100%.
All right, promise lead us through some more messages. Let's see.
I'm trying to get there. This says what's her name? Franca from Iba says how can your guest say he's representing someone you are there for yourself? Okay.
That they're there for themselves.
I don't know.
Me now, I'm a politician.
No, that.
She said the House of from the electoral college. Okay, make we pack and go home. I don't understand what talking about.
You're right. You've heard this from the electoral college where he talks so we'll not get any hope. Don't finish.
What you said.
You don't close shop
okay,
for us.
This is Precious and Promise and Prince and Mr. Kunle. You said Prince has already taken opinion from me. Where and what will electoral college exist for? Are they replacing anyway? Another no now. This is just. You got it wrong. So come on.
All right, so I think let's phone lines are still buzzing non-stop, but I'd like to rather read the messages. So Chief Udo from Chief Udo says, Precious, I thought you are an APC strong member. Sorry, you're new to this show. They call me APC woman leader. Oh, you're saying are you serious now? I'm surprised you're saying are you serious? Because in one breath he said I was attacking you because I thought you were supporting government. In another breath then you heard that they call me APC woman leader. Okay. All right, he says, but when your guest supported that on your mandate Tinubu song, I have to go to YouTube to check if he is wearing a Siwaju cap. He said, in fact, Precious, your name is still written of paper. Why guest might be on ballot box for APC next election?
That happens a lot.
It
happens a lot.
Okay, so I'm going to say something.
Right.
If I want my name on a ballot box, I wouldn't have to struggle. I've already won in primaries before. I ran in Abuja for Senate, which is about 2.5 times the size of Lagos.
Position.
Yeah,
now
preceding, way ahead of her, and I did quite well, very well.
You're proud.
So yes, I am.
Like.
So if you think I'm swallowing for the kind of me, we don't bend down. We create now. We don't bend down. So if you think ballot box, been there, done that.
Okay. All right. And this says, good evening, Prepare and your guest. But if your guest is saying that everybody has been marginalized, my question for him is, who are the people that are marginalizing some people? Funny people everywhere. Government of confusion. Please, Precious, if I say what is in my mind, then you close today's show and prepare to have a nice. In fact, you have a nice day too, my brother. 3 countries inside one country. I don't understand what he's trying to say. All right, then this here says, "Good evening, precious," from Miss Prince and Mr. Kunle in the house. Mr. Kunle, how can we be member of your organization to spread this gospel? My name is Tony from Ikeja. I need more enlightenment. This is interesting.
Let me read this so you just reply to this. And Daniel from Agigi says, greetings to you all in the studio. He said, please, your new guest is very interesting, more especially his calm presentation. He says, but I'm advising him not to quit politics. He has a lot to bring into the to change this present ugly narrative we are in,
First of all,
so
my pikin,
there may be hope in 2027, right?
My pikin don't they enter secondary school, the bills they high. So not be that money I go use enter politics. But
now university won't go shock you. Now secondary school your mind is it.
And you can join our cohort. So I'm midway in the 16th cohort right now. Classes are free, just for you to join. Everything is free. It doesn't cost you a thing.
All right,
it doesn't cost you a thing.
All right, okay, going back to WhatsApp, can I? Max from Isolo says, good evening, ladies and gentlemen in the studio. Our electoral college guest is hilariously violent, and he puts street laughing emoji there. He said, honestly, Nigeria is a huge joke. When we, the masses, are tired of suffering at the hands of these few privileged politicians, then we can get on serious business. And he said, shame on the National Assembly for that act today. Precious, I'm happy that you have now heard it from the mouth of your guest that nobody really loves Nigeria. Then why do you keep fighting to keep what? I bet people should go, Joe. You've brought
why am I fighting to keep what they never loved?
You want to bring
Let me
another
explain
thing
something. When I say, I don't know about everybody else, but I feel that when I say I love Nigeria, it is, growing up,
that will make you proud.
Some people are young. I don't know what they saw, but growing up, I traveled 30 states. 19 states with my father. I traveled 19 states with my father. I've taken water from wells in Katsina. I've been to Enugu. I remember I loved Enugu, the city of 042. There was a time when rivers used to be referred to as the Garden City. That's before they started
shooting in the air.
No, firing small.
You just got me nostalgic now.
Have you tried to shower in River City recently?
It's not like that. It is not like that.
The kind of bombastic side eyes I'm giving to you. So my village people don't die finish your River State. The kind of bombastic side eyes I'm giving to you.
So a few of us feel that's worth fighting for. I come from different parts of Nigeria. I'm part a lot of things, and it's worth fighting for.
All right. Let's take this call. Hello. Good evening and welcome.
Precious, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Welcome. What's your name? Joval. That should be you.
I'm surprised that you didn't get to know my voice this evening, Precious.
I know this
Jova, you're sounding quite serious. Are you angry?
You're sounding more British than the British.
Jova.
yeah, I have to sound like that this evening because we've got a guest in the studio who knows how to speak PG more than you. My man, I agree.
I don't agree. We're going to PG competition. I don't feel. I don't agree.
Say for Nigeria, they get reverse pigeon. That pigeon, he enter water small. Then say me, I get cocoa blood for somewhere. So in my own, he enter water small.
So he cross river, go enter Sapele, go enter the cocoa farm.
Also be northern, so get everywhere.
Well done. We go do competition.
Let me greet my former woman in the backyard in the frontier today. Promise, you're welcome to the frontier.
Thank you. Good evening.
And I cannot but say hi to the prince, the wise Prince Chilaka.
My brother.
I greet you, sir.
I greet you.
Precious, I am getting things confused now. This guest that is talking, Mr. Olawale, right?
Yes, Kunle Lawal.
Kunle Lawal, yes. So is he the same person that was the other person on via phone? The man won't confuse me. No.
Oh, because before.
The man won't confuse me. No.
Oh, because before it is MB support. Everybody gets in they do now.
No. So how's it
support?
change.
Everybody gets in it, they do now.
No. So I wasn't supporting. I was trying to lay credence. And you know, everybody.
That credence now he won't carry me. He won't carry me for my 2 legs, but I don't balance again.
Not type.
My brother, I agree with a lot of things you are saying there. Yeah, jurisdiction
but
no
you hear
reach
me
there.
talking for this show. I say 65% of the people in political power do not know jurisdiction.
Fence no reach, make them cross the fence, go the other side. So it is terrible, the kind of country that we are in. You just said something that touched me now, that we partake in American electoral system by observing.
Thank you. Apologies. Thank you so much. Apologies. You're saying you're making it.
The local level is the councillors.
Yes.
At the state level, it's the
Assembly.
State House of Assembly, and at the federal level, national and this thing. Now, for them to even perform, these people must know the constitution, because it's that constitution which is the basis of their laws.
Even the people that are performing.
So the next time somebody comes to tell you he's coming to run for office, the question you should ask him in these capacities: number one, what laws do you want to amend?
Good.
Second, what laws do you want to change? Third,
at all those levels,
what part of the constitution is the problem? If they cannot answer those questions and you give them your vote, you will find yourself exactly where you are again.
That is at this same point.
Yes.
Or maybe a little bit worse.
So waiting they have for Nigeria.
Evening, this man they break our jaws. Stop
But
it.
it's true now.
Stop it. I don't like it.
Don't you know that if you watch some movies before they go say cut, you don't tell them where the movie they go.
I have someone in the call. I have someone on the line.
I said I just want to talk on few things.
Go ahead.
The first one is the aspect of the president in the Senate and all that.
Your network is really bad, though, Oga. Your network is really bad.
You can call.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, let's try. Yes, please.
Okay. I said so. As I said about that, what the president said in the House was he did not say that you have all been elected. Like some of the media are carrying it. What said? No, that means you are all re-elected. It's just like a prayer.
Yes, we did not even talk about that one, Seth. We were speaking on something else. We were speaking on the fact that they all had to stand up and sing for him, praising his mantra song, saying that on the mandate of the president we will stand. That is
the mandate of his campaign.
That was his
song.
campaign song. Excuse me, sir. And this is an arm of government that should be checkmating what the executive is doing.
No, of course, I agree with you. Of course, they are all acting in the bill. President, you are trying to win that for one thing or the other. I agree with you. Of course, the way Nigerians are complaining, when Jonathan was there, who is
your network is really bad, sir. Apologies. Your network is really, really bad. I was struggling to hear you. I promise more messages, as many as you can, from Beningin and from under. I don't know if you can.
All right. This person, quick one. Yeah. This person, Chinamere from Agbara, says, Precious, your guest is not talking to convince us that his political college will teach anything different from the negative things we're experiencing today. Okay, he has told you now. Be active in politics, in primary. Start from primaries. Know what is happening. That was what you said, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
If I'm to compress 27 modules in 2 hours, not possible now.
Okay, and this says Kunle just started by playing around with words but later balanced. The parliamentarians that they come to APC never know how the voters will react in 2027. You said, remember that sovereignty belongs to the people and it worked for Labour Party to a large extent last year. You said that advised the obedient movement to prepare to present contestants that are acquainted with their ideologies and not opportunists. May God save our land. And this is according to, I'm looking for your name. Your name is not here. I'm trying to go back to another. John from Amowo Dauphin says, please, Precious, I tuned in little late. You didn't rerun. Okay, you didn't rerun the headlines. I'm going to do that. Please run us down with the headlines. I think we'll do that before we proceed. Precious, when you're ready, let me know. This says, please, we need Mr. Kunle Lawal as your guest most of the time. You have to be coming around, Mr. Lawal. People want you to be coming around more often. Are you going to oblige them?
Okay, tell them I'll be available. But next time I'm available, it won't be State of the Nation. We'll pick something like, let's say, the legislative, we'll focus on it. We'll pick the fourth estate in the democracy. We'll focus on it. We'll pick the executive. Focus on it. So those are my strengths.
Okay, so I'd really love
topics.
us to talk about the legislative, for instance, especially concerning the aspect of the difference between the functions of the Senate and the House of Representatives. Some people just get it.
Functions are actually the same.
I'm coming.
There's no difference.
I'm coming.
We should actually scrap one of them.
I'm coming.
Which one is
why I
passing
said
which bill?
That's
Which
why I
of the
said.
house?
That's why I said we'll look at it.
We
So
should
that Nigeria.
What
you
are
see
they
this-
doing differently?
You see
Are
this
they
reaction
doing
you're
the
giving
same
now? That's a reaction I want to educate Nigerians on.
We should
Because
scrap
we
the
need
Senate.
to understand what we're spending our resources on and what is gulping our finances.
No, so Nigeria believes we should have a higher house of
that will hire what the lower have done.
and then lower. No, it's for checks and balances.
Like?
Yeah, this checks and okay. Like I'll give you an example. When a bill is about to be passed, there's ratification going on between the lower house and the upper house. That happens
Just like the
normally,
tax
just
reform
for-
bill. That's been the only bill
No,
people
not
were
only
really,
tax.
really
They
more
did it with
interested
Not
in.
Too Young to Run bill. They did it
How
with
many
energy
bills pass
run. They
through
did
that
it with
process?
The electoral act. Every bill passes through that process.
What I'm saying is, in this present
I'm telling you,
the 10th
there
assembly,
must be
there are lots of bills that were passed. Some bills were passed under 48 hours.
Yes, sir.
but there must be a consensus between the lower house and the upper house. Now the question is, did they read it? No. That's the question, because like electoral act, now proved that they didn't read it. But there must be a consensus between the upper and lower house. And if you look at our country landmass, our legislature is not, I wouldn't say large. What hurts us with the legislature is the inaction of the legislature, not the fact that they are large. And then also with the fact that they are also vested with the power to control their own finances and their own. Everybody will say their salary is 500,000. We know. So when they told you during COVID, we are giving you our salaries, they were giving you 500,000.
Allowances and other
what
things.
of the allowance of 42 million?
Which is the cocoa?
That's the cocoa. But they
Up
decided
to your newspaper allowance.
It's just like now I say, I'm drinking water and gari, let me share with you. Then I only pour you the water of gari, then the sugar and the gari is still on that. Yeah, carry that and go. So we need to, and those monies are high. That is minus constituency projects, which they also sit on with their friends and share quite a lot of money. So therein lies the problem. But is it that our legislature is large? I don't think so. For the size of this country, I don't think so. But because they do not work effectively, go to somewhere like Sweden. In Sweden, they all share a newspaper. Here, they have newspaper allowance per month of 1.8 million, and nobody has read newspaper.
All right, Baba Jide from Ikotun says, good evening, VOP. May the Lord continue to guide and protect you all. Say amen to that. He said, we need more of this enlightenment so that people will really know more of what is going on in the country. And he said, please tell Mr. Kunle to give me his email address. That's if you're interested.
I would be happy.
All right, maybe towards the end of the show, we're almost rounding off. It's almost done. I'm trying to get some more messages. Precious, you have anything on YouTube? I'm Precious and Promise. Can you let us hear what your invited guest has to say? Why? Oh, all right.
Why
he said,
what?
Mr. Kunle, not all politicians are bad. Some are just too horrible. They are not bad, but they are just too horrible.
You know the truth.
The irony.
We can't continue to generalize, and maybe because I know what some people are doing and the work some people are really doing within systems. I don't think all politicians are bad. I'll never think that. Do we have more bad eggs? Yes. Yes, that's true. Can they be better? Yeah, a lot. And the good ones are really having a tough fight. So just imagine you're a good politician or a good legislative in that house. You cannot even talk. Whether you sit down and shout, they'll stone you.
No, but I think it is high time we stop this whole shenanigan of, when they want to pass a vote. Those who say aye.
No, but you know
the
funny thing. Now here's what the Nigerian people don't know. Installed in the National Assembly, preceding the 9th Assembly, were responder buttons. So you can even know who voted what and
so
how.
why are they not using it?
That's the question. The Nigerian people have never questioned them because Nigerian people don't even know it is there.
No, we know it is there, but the question is: do you think that Nigerian or the Nigerian government has been fair with the Freedom of Information Act?
Let me explain.
Because most times when you ask, would they really even tell you? People have asked questions, and this sometimes they call your bluff. Know that.
Let me show you how to do it. You don't have to start at point A. I want to recall my senator as being the first thing. Why don't you start with everybody, I's and A's, stop it. Want to see the votes, want to see the graphs, want to see it. Once you start that, that's an easy thing to give the people, especially if they agitate in front of the National Assembly. But nobody would ever think that you're headed towards recall. Nigerians like to place what they are doing. You know, we don't even used to hide anything straight. Hey, we want to remove the National Assembly.
Okay, so somebody did ask a question very quickly. So what do you say when the Supreme Court reverses the election of the people like they did in Imo State?
You see,
that number 4 came. I'm going to give you number one.
Our time is up, though. If you can use that as a
I'm going to give a very straight answer. It's going to take 30 seconds. That's the answer to that. There needs to be credibility in our elections, and in anywhere that a court decides an election, then that election is null and void, because those are not the fundamentals of democracy.
But people will keep going to court.
If a court has to decide an election,
then
there's no election. I've answered you.
So what do we do to stop the court from deciding elections? That's the point. Because even when everyone comes out to say, people who think that they're in control, perhaps they have more judicial power, if that's a thing, can decide to also go to the court.
To explain this conversation is going to take us like an hour, because I have to go through the entire system to explain this. But just
when
know,
are you coming again?
Just know.
Will you be here tomorrow?
You want to marry me?
Will you be here on Friday? You want to marry in Lagos? You be second hand. Nigerian use that. So are you coming? Are you coming tomorrow or Friday?
Friday.
No, so I'm to be on mainland on Saturday. I don't know how that's going to be, but let's work something.
So can we talk virtually next week?
Yes, we can.
Virtually next week.
Yes, I'll do.
All right, now I put you on the spot on air,
wait,
so that you confess.
You can't do 28th. 28th is my birthday. You can't do
1st of January is my birthday, so stop it soon now. So you do birthday, will do back.
No
wonder you said the ginger. No wonder you said the ginger. Thank you so much, Mr. Kulilawal. It's been a pleasure hosting you. It's been great conversation with you. You get locks, I don't give you my full attention today. Ask to missing, which is for my hand. Ask to missing, what we do together.
You'd have realized my own full capacity.
But I wish that we had a better and longer conversation, so milk you a bit more. But I'm hoping to milk you like a cow somewhere when you come next.
Okay.
Mr. Kulilawal is the executive director of Nigerian College, not that type of the United States own that decides the vote. Our own is Nigerian Electoral College, and it's not that type. But he's the executive director of the Electoral College Nigeria. And Prince Francis Chilaka, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. Lagos, that's the size of our package. My name is Precious Enyi. That's my personal name. Precious Enyi.
And I'm Promise Enyi.
And that is her personal name too. I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Good night. Bye.